right. There you go. I half did it.
You're welcome.
I was playing the intro like 30 seconds before I actually hit live. Hi, everybody. Welcome
try.
to
I'm like, you never play the intro anymore. Play the intro.
Yeah, well, you know.
That's why we never play the intro anymore, because it's a fail. Oh, is that a tea towel? Not anymore. It's not. Show that.
It's my painting rag. She wasn't supposed to see that. Anyway.
I mean, if you needed a painting rag, I could actually give you a painting rag, not one of my tea towels.
I'm sorry. So thank you, everybody, for coming from another Monday Night Draw. Apologies tonight. I realized I went to sign in tonight, and I hadn't even put up a link, yeah, basically the link has been up for 15 minutes, basically.
So thanks for finding us.
Yes, really. Thank you. Yeah. I'm glad we have anyone here at all.
Oh,
I'm always glad.
It's that kind of day.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. You start drawing, and I'm going to tell you about how feeding the animals went tonight. Because we went out together at 7:00, and everybody's got questions, but you're going to listen to me talk because this is Monday night with Meredith and Dave, and this is the Meredith
all right, just get on with
portion of the Meredith and Dave. So we go out together, and the rule is Dave goes and gets the hay, and I do all the feed. Great. So you feed your horses. The dogs came out with us. Dave let the dogs out. I'm like, okay. The dogs come in the barn with me to do the feed. Then they run out with Dave when he goes out with the hay. I go with the feed, and I feed 3 of the horses in the one paddock. And I look around. I'm like, Dave, where are the dogs? And I go down to feed the other horses, and I'm yelling at you as you are walking up to the house. Dave, where are the dogs?
Oh, I didn't hear you yelling.
Yes, I realized that. And so then I'm like calling for the dogs. They're gone. But I know where they are because of the cacophony of dog barking coming from the animal sanctuary that's being set up and has a bunch of foster dogs over there. So I see Oscar, thankfully, even though he blends in, I saw him and I called him and he came, and then Eve came with him. So then I have to try to keep my eye on them while I try to keep Stevie from eating Illy's food. And then I realized while I'm out there that they have no hay, so they need a bale. But I don't have my coat that I normally wear for the barn that has my X-Acto knife in it. So when I get the bale out there, I have no way to remove the strings. So I'm hacking at the string with the sharpest rock I can find.
Oh, man. Wow.
In the paddock.
How'd that go?
Instead of taking me 20 minutes, it took me 45. Yes, princess.
Well, I figured you needed the exercise, so you're welcome.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little out of it, I have to admit. I have been working. Some of you guys might remember we've got that huge gem piece that I've been working on. Well, this month is the month that it's due, and I really, really don't like promising things and then not delivering. I mean, it's happened for sure. Like, I don't want to say it's never happened, but I try very hard to not let that happen. And so I was working on that all weekend. That's basically all I did. And then there was F1, which I watched and was great. And George Russell, by the way, good to see. I was thrilled. It was awesome. Anyway, and then Kazmat Chimaev was fighting, which I really wanted to see. I also wanted to see what was going to happen with Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling. So I watched that. That was, you know what? I'm glad for Aljamain Sterling because I'm just going to go into this because he had a very questionable title for a while, and you know he's got the title fair and square. I still feel like Jan won the fight, but whatever, doesn't matter. Anyway. So I watched UFC. By the time I was done, and I wanted to watch everything that night because I didn't want to get spoilers. I keep getting spoiled all the time, so I didn't get to bed till almost 4 by the time I watched everything, and yeah, I'm still paying for it. So there you go. All right, go on. Good. Oh, right. Yeah, my point is I'm totally out of it. And I forgot to put up a link for the thing. I forgot the dogs outside. It's a disaster.
Oh, Monday. How you do me. Jamal Rashid has a super chat for $4.99. Hey guys, super excited to be here with you guys. I know you're super busy, but I asked if you could do Red Hood from Monday Night Draw. God is good.
Absolutely, and absolutely, yes, definitely. I'd like to do Red Hood for sure. I have one coming. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I've got Moon Knight, which I really want to do. Coming up. We, by the way, next week is Easter, and so I will be here on Thursday with Eric, and we're going to be painting. So that's coming up on Thursday. I'm very excited about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's a bit of a long time coming. We haven't done a painting stream in a little while, so that'll be fun. But there was going to be no stream on Monday, so yeah, getting Meredith to come and do a stream on Easter Monday is not happening. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, Henry, I saw your post about hair on his back and his arm, so I'm making sure. Just want to make sure you know.
Tom Morris has a super chat for $22. Thank you so much, Tom. Tom says, may God bless you and yours and the whole flock this Easter. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. Step it up, flock master. Big love. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you so much.
That's when
Tom.
I was going to say we were taking Easter Monday off. But
oh well. Sorry for preempting you there.
That's all right. Preemption.
You know, I have to say, we were just talking just before the stream started, and we were saying, you know what, like, how long can we keep doing the stream? Because I love doing it, but there are times like today I'm tired, I have to admit, and I think, you know, I don't know if we can do it forever. Like, should there like maybe, you know, another year and then that's it, or what? And you know, I come on and I always forget how much I love it the minute I get started. I swear, that's like my job too. I can waste so much time, and the minute I get started drawing, I'm just having a good time, almost no matter what it is.
Fair enough. I feel that way when I ride.
But I'm lazy.
I'm like, I don't want to ride. I'm so tired, and then I ride, and I have all the energy I need.
Yep. It's just easy to be lazy.
Yep.
And this is why, like last week, somebody asked about
writer's block.
Right, artist block, which okay, I'm just going to say you can find that you're unsatisfied with the work you're doing and where it's going, and that's its own thing. The only solution for that, though, is to work on it. If there are things that you don't like, you have to work on them, because nothing else will work. The alternative is quitting, you know, and I mean, that's obviously an alternative, and people take that alternative all the time. I mean, it's just the way it is. But other than that, writer's block or artist block, I think personally is laziness, and it's an excuse to be lazy. And I don't mean that to sound judgmental at all, because I do it all the time. Like we all do. It's tough to be motivated, and you know, and because you have to have your head in the game to sit and draw something or to write something. You can't just phone it in. You pay for that. So yeah, I don't mean it like a judgment, like, oh, you're being lazy. I mean, we all are, and I was feeling lazy today. Although I got a whole lot done on that picture.
Well, that's awesome.
So before the end of the month.
Did you actually work on it during the day today?
I did, yeah.
You were supposed to work on the elder page.
I know. Hey, you with your...
What?
That is a cover I can't talk about.
All right. Profit has a super chat for $1.99. Oh my gosh, no. For $19.99.
Well, sorry.
Sorry, Profit. Hey, Dave, was wondering if you could explain the difference between blush and shadow. I'm trying to learn to render skin, and it's a big point of confusion. Thanks again for everything.
Sorry, about what?
Blush.
Blush?
And shadow.
Blush and shadow. I have to be...
Rendering skin.
Okay.
I don't know.
Now, what I wonder is this more of a painting kind of a thing?
I don't think so.
Blush and shadow.
Maybe blush is a mistype.
It might be, and if it is, I'm going to give that one a second, and hopefully you can clarify if you don't mind, because I don't understand.
Rendering, like maybe somebody's blushing?
Well,
versus shadowing the face?
And if that is what you mean, please clarify that.
You don't have to super chat it. Probably.
Oh yeah,
just tag me in it. Kenny Wang says, no, Dave, 10 more years at least. And Julio Torres says, just one more year. Don't leave us, Dave, Supersonico.
Oh, I'm not going anywhere. Honestly, I'm sorry, Meredith, but the minute I get started, I can't stop. Come on. I really do.
Tom Morris, just say no to quitting.
I look forward to this all the time. Look, I love my job too. I feel the same way about my job, whatever I'm working on. And I have quit, by the way, more than once jobs that I deeply regret quitting in the end because I am tired and, you get a little burnt out. And so, yeah, I'm not going anywhere. Don't be mad, Meredith. She's mad. Are you mad?
Eric Grove says blush like makeup. Oh, blush and eyeshadow, maybe.
Okay, let me give it a try. And apologies for my desk. We were painting. All right. So I'm going to draw. Here's a face, and it's going to be it can't be too simple because otherwise it won't make sense.
And Static Art says blush is for manga.
Oh, see, I don't know. Yeah. Now I'm gonna show you a way that I would think of it. And I don't even know if this is going to be useful, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. So here's a woman's face. It's a little simple, and apologies, but it is what it is. Cat. Okay. Sharpener. I don't have my sharpener. All right. So hold on. Sharpener. Okay. So for makeup around her eyes, sharpen. I think I need a new one. I like to go pretty heavy along the top here. And that is really, it's eyelashes, but it's makeup. So that would be makeup there. And I know this is not what you're talking about, but I'm just going to throw that out there. And down here too. This would not be so dark if it weren't for makeup. I think a person with such thick eyelashes that it would look that way they don't exist. I'm looking, maybe they do. And I'm going to give her some lids over her eyes. I tend to cut into the eyes with my eyelids and not do a lid like this. And that's something Eric actually has been talking to me about. And he's been kind of questioning how to approach that and whether to do that because he feels like it doesn't work with painting. And I think he's right. It's a technique that I learned and I just never changed. And I don't know that it's actually all that correct. So I'm going to do that here. I've learned a lot about drawing different things from Eric. One of the big ones, did I mention this to you guys before? So here's a head from the side. I'm just going to digress all day here. And so here's my eye, my nose, my jaw. And I would draw my ear like this, and there's my ear. Well, that's not how an ear works on a head. It's actually like this at an angle. And so your ear sits like this. And that is much more accurate. And I never knew that. I learned that actually last year from Eric Grove. So thank you, Eric, for that one too. All right. So I'm going to go a little darker here and a little darker here. And I can just kind of render into it lightly. And that would kind of look like makeup. I mean, it wouldn't be that dark otherwise. And then for blush, this is what I do. And I don't think this is going to be useful for what you're talking about because, to be totally honest, I don't know. And I apologize. But you have your line of the cheek and it comes down like this. But you really don't want to define too much of a line there. So what I like to do is I just kind of go from the ear. And this is not my technique. A lot of artists do this. And just a few lines like this. Now, I'm kind of cutting off here because I would draw my hair coming through here. And that would be about it. I try not to go too much. I could render this way out of it too, but rendering on women's faces, there's an artist that has a line it's like a famous line. Every line you add to a woman's face adds, 10 years or whatever. And, different types of women are different, like obviously, but I think that can certainly be a rule if you're trying to draw like your standard kind of a superhero woman. So anyway, that's about what I would do, just like this. And it kind of defines the cheek a little bit. It gives it a little bit of color. I leave it there. The rest is for the colorist. So I don't know if that's very helpful, and I apologize.
I got to go back now because my. All right.
It's funny.
Next super chat comes from Jeffrey Niffen for $4.99. What are the chances of a tutorial for montage style covers a la Drew Struzan?
Sure. And by the way, I have an announcement to make in terms of tutorials. I have been holding off on a few things for a while. Some anatomy stuff and like some really intensive, kinds of things to do as a course. And I don't have time to do courses. I really don't. I'm so busy with everything else. I'm doing what I want to do. I kind of started YouTube because I thought, you know what, it's like a good business if something goes on with comics and whatever. But we're opening back up. I'm honestly not really thinking of it like a business. I just really like doing it. So I'm going to start putting all that stuff up just in YouTube videos. So everything that I know when it comes to anatomy, and some of them will end up being pretty long and, whatever. But yeah, it's just going to be on YouTube. So all that stuff is coming. I'm not a good business person. The problem is I want to make my YouTube videos as good as I can. I hate doing something that I feel like is not useful. And I hate the idea that I'm like holding back, I think, some things that I think would be very useful. And ultimately, not all of you guys, but a lot of you guys are young, starving artists. And, we don't have a ton of cash to be spending on that kind of stuff. So I'm just doing it.
So Prophet confirms blushing around nose and cheeks like a flushed reaction. Every time I try to render it, it reads like a litigating change.
Yeah, I am very sorry, Prophet, but I've never done that. And I would have to agree it's more of a manga technique. It's not something I see in Western comics. And I'm such a Western influenced artist. I have some influence from manga, but manga generally is published black and white, and so they have techniques for those kinds of things. Also, they have a range of expressions that we don't really use here so much, almost like ciphers. Like we have certain ciphers here, and they do too, and I guess that would be one of them. So I don't have a good answer for that at all. And to be honest with you, I think if I try to do it, I would have the same exact problem that you had. If I could suggest one thing, it would just be, you know what, I'm going to do this. When you're rendering, if and I'm going to do some rendering on her forehead. It's not going to work, but and you know what, I'm kind of going with my hand. I want to try and fight my hand a little bit. So I think the worst way for me to try and render would be like this. So let's try and do that. And it looks like garbage, I can render so much better. Now I'm going to go along my hand. And these are just quickly pulled lines, but I can render so much more cleanly and effectively. And so if you are finding you're ending up with something that's looking a little bit messier than what you want, that could be a big reason there. And you can get a much cleaner line just by following your hand. What you want to do is, I'm a lefty, I kind of go this way. If you're righty, you might go that way. There are artists that actually go the other way. So I'm still going along my hand. I'm just pulling the other way. And it just depends on where you're more comfortable. I'm more comfortable this way. I can do both. Most artists can. You just have a way that you like better. That could be a big thing here. So what you want are evenly sized, and I blow it right away, evenly sized, evenly spaced lines. And that is the key for making this kind of thing not turn into an ugly mess. It takes a little bit of hand control. practice, but it actually is so much faster than you would think. You'd be shocked. I've actually sat down with artists that really had problems with just chicken scratch, and had them doing something, like that in minutes. So, and I wasn't saying anything that I didn't just say right there. So there you go.
All right. Tagamo Model Works has a super chat for $2. I'm here. Good to see you, Dave Meredith. Thanks for everything. Welcome, Tag. Good to see you too.
You know what? Yes. Welcome, Tag. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking.
You are not with it tonight.
I know. I'm tired. But that said, it's funny. I'm tired, but I actually feel really loose drawing.
Yeah.
Like I feel good.
You're like tired in the
up.
drunk way.
I feel warmed up.
There you go. That's because you've been drawing all day.
Yeah.
Anthony G is a super chat for $4.99. Anthony says, free tutorials make my wallet and my wife happy. Thanks, Dave.
Perfect. Good. And I hate the idea that I'm trying to like present some kind of, if you watch this YouTube video, you get this, but if you pay me money, you get like the real answer. And I don't feel like that's true. I mean, I really try and make the YouTube videos as good as I can. There have just been a few topics I've kind of been avoiding, and I'm just not going to do that. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to put that stuff out and it's going to be like, wah, wah. But you know what? If it is garbage, it was my best garbage.
All right. Tom Morris has a super chat for $8. Tom says, speaking of opening up, any conventions for you and Lady Mary Death this summer? Rose City or Emerald City, mayhaps?
He's a upper West Coaster. I didn't know that. I didn't know you were up there, Tom. Do I have plans to go there this year?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oregon, maybe?
That is Oregon.
Oh, what? Or no?
Portland is Oregon too.
No,
Portland is Oregon.
It's not. It's
and Seattle is Washington.
It's not, no. What's another? Oklahoma, maybe? Tulsa. That's where you're going.
Tulsa. Okay. Yeah, that's not close. I'm sorry. And before you guys laugh at the fact that I'm having to remember where cities are in the States, I'm Canadian. So,
Lisa Escobar has a super chat for $5. Hey there, Dave. I'm sure you've heard or answered this question before, but what kind of material would you recommend for setting up something like final art?
What kind of material? For what?
What kind of materials would you recommend?
Yeah.
For final art, like doing.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I think there are definitely artists that will use convention tools because it's much easier. And this would be kind of like that. I'm using the kind of tools I would use at a convention. I can tell you from my part, this is exactly what I use for everything. I'm using the exact same tools. Like, not just tools like this. These are the exact things. So it's all the same for me. What it really comes down to is the amount of time I have to kind of clean things up. Like I'm actually rendering a little bit with a brush, something I would not do. I don't have the brush control to do this as well as I would like. So I would not do this. I shouldn't be doing it now, truthfully. Yeah, I should really be stopping. I'm going to stop doing that. It's a mess. But yeah, I use the same stuff. So this is my Pentel. It's not a pocket brush. It's a brush pen. You can find them on jetpens.com or Amazon. I don't know. I'm sure they have an exact name. Every time I look for them, and I know this has come up before and I've gotten the right answer, but still, every time I look for them, I just look for Pentel brush pen and I find them. So, and this is my Tombow. I use a hard. This is also called a brush pen, but this is like a nylon brush, like a brush, whereas this is like a felt tip. I use the hard because it's just easier on my hand than the soft. Harder on my hand actually, but I don't have the kind of hand control to use the soft. A lot of artists like the soft. I use Uniposca. This is a big, massive one. My smaller one actually ran out of juice, so I need to order some more. So I've got a big honking one, and I use my Micron 01. I just find for me it's a good size. It's not too big and it's not too small. If I need bigger, I like going with my Tombow, this one here. And if I go smaller, I'm there all day. Like, well, I'm there all day anyway, but multiple days. My pencil is a 2H lead, and the paper is Strathmore 200 series smooth Bristol. So there you go. And that's what I use for everything professional. There obviously are a lot of different things that you can use that will work very well. These are the ones that I like. I've tried different brush pens. I've tried different things. Like I know Scott Williams uses a different one, and I gave it a try, and I couldn't get the control with it. But you know what? It's Scott Williams, so I'm not surprised. I think if you have more natural hand control, you can use something that has a little more supple effect.
All right. Danielle Castelli has a super chat for $4.99. Dave, your generosity is as amazing as your art. Thank you for the top level education. And by the way, did you find out what I named your chicken yet? We've not found out yet.
No, not yet.
We don't know anything. We know nothing.
Yeah, we I have an appointment to go to the States very soon to get everything signed and everything ready. They're sending me sketch cards to get all the sketches done. I'm going to be doing those here. That'll be next month because it truly is going to take me the rest of the month. My spare time to finish that other picture. It's a lot. And yeah, we don't know yet, but we don't have the chickens yet. So there's still a little bit of time. Chickens are still on the way.
We have 2. We have 4 more coming.
Right.
2 of the 6 are here.
We have 2. Yeah, you're right. We have those.
They're in the barn.
We should be naming them those ones.
You can name those ones.
We have 2 chickens already. We have more chickens coming, but we just got 2. I never see them. They're in quarantine in the barn right now. So yeah, we need to get on that and get them named and get their plate. And thank you, Daniel, for doing that. You're a nutcase.
No.
We'll never forget it, though.
No.
Truly, we'll never forget it.
No.
Chickens around here, I'm surprised how endearing they are.
That's because ours love us. The new ones don't love us yet. They're terrified of us.
Take a little more work.
Well, they're going to have to wait till they get integrated into the flock and then see that the flock likes us.
Yeah.
And then they'll like us. But they don't even know that lettuce is for eating.
Really?
Really. Yeah.
They grew up in a barn?
Well, because we got our originals as day old chicks. These ones, because I couldn't get the ones I wanted as day old chicks, I had to get them as like.
Oh, so they're already mature and.
Yeah, they're 12.
A little tougher.
They're like laying ready between 18 and 24 weeks.
We'll have them. We'll have them broken down in a couple months.
Yeah. I go and I talk to them every day. Scrolling through the chat, reading the comments. Mike Stewart has a super chat for $5. Mike says, "Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us, Dave. Can't wait to receive your sketchbook."
Thank you very much, Mike. Really appreciate it.
Ross Klein wants to know if we're having trouble with the bird flu. We don't have bird flu that I know of, Ross, but we have quarantined the new chickens. They are not anywhere remotely near our other 5 chickens, and they won't be until I know that they've been quarantined for a week now. I probably quarantine them for another week or 2.
Yeah,
to make sure that they're healthy before I put them next to my flock.
Yeah, I don't know if chickens get COVID, but
they get the avian flu and they can die from it.
Okay, well, we're certainly getting COVID.
And I don't want to miss my chickens. I don't want to lose a chicken. They're so cute every morning. They come running when I call them. I'm like, come on, girls. And they come running.
I think
So
that was just
cute. Sid V says, hello, Dave and Meredith.
Hey, Sid.
And
I saw-
Anthony G is laughing about the way you say Oregon.
Oregon.
Is that what you said?
I don't know. I said Oregon. Or I guess. Dang it.
Is that what you said? Oregon?
Oregon? Whatever.
Oh, I don't know. Go to bed, man.
Now that I'm thinking I say it weird, I won't be able to fix it.
You won't even know how you say it anymore now. You just be thinking about it. Nick says, Dave, do you remember the sketch off you did at Boston Fan Expo where you drew a Squidward eating a chicken wing?
I think, yeah.
Nick has it.
Really? I'm sorry.
Oregon. Rich Ware says Oregon.
Oregon.
And then Nicholas Hughes says Oregon. Supersonico says oregano.
There you go. Perfect. So all of you here from Oregano, thank you so much for coming by.
What do you say, PP? Princess says no comment.
The good news is I'm pretty sure there's nobody from Oregon that cares how you pronounce Oregon, really.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. Everett is desperate to be able to pick up Princess Kitty because he could pick up Stormy all the time, but Princess just runs from him because she knows he's desperate to pick her up. So he had Isaac with a laser pointer distracting her. Well, he tried to sneak up on her, and then all I heard was this loud crash. And then next thing I knew, Princess was down here with us. So clearly he was not successful.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Isaac was in the last video.
What last video?
The perspective video.
He was?
Yeah. Yeah, I had the camera up because I was taking, it's for Comics on Coffee.
Oh, doing the commercial.
That's right. And so, yeah, he was up like, what are you doing? And so I told him, then he said he wanted to do it. So anyway, he's in there. He actually had this whole big threat thing that he was, buy it or else. And I thought, okay, that might not be the tone we're trying to set here.
Steve Mosolino has a super chat for $5. Hi, Dave. I recently tried my hand at creating a 6-panel, 1-page comic on 11x17 paper. What's the best way to create that panel layout?
6 panels is a tough layout. I'll tell you that right now. Like it's a lot of panels, and depending on what you have, if you have something that's really detail oriented or action oriented, it can be tough. Something with a lot of figures, but okay. So here I'm gonna just go to the back of this. So here's a page. Now I don't have a script, so we're just gonna assume like your average kind of page, and I'm gonna say we have a an intro scene. So we have basically an establishment. I should have just written establishing scene. Then we cut into our main action. So whatever that is, it could be people just standing there. Generally that's, you go to like a mid-range shot, and then you close into a few closer shots of people. And so I'm going to assume we got a little bit of fighting because it'll be a little more fun. So, and I want to have like an anchor panel. So every page, and it's really important, unless you want to do something that is like a strict grid. And I see that writers ask for that sometimes, and I can understand it gives like a consistent story beat, but it really guts the art quite a bit. And it's generally, my opinion, a very selfish writer technique to be asking your artist to do that all the time. And it's like saying, I'm in charge, not you, artist. That's how I feel. Whatever. All right. So
indeed, Dave, tell us how you really feel.
There you go. That's how I really feel. So I'm going to say, I want two things. I want to establish my scene, and I want a big anchor panel. And because I want a big anchor panel, I don't want a huge amount of room establishing my scene. So I'm just going to go with a narrow panel along the top. And I'm going to say, here's my building, whatever it is. This will be, like Bruce Manor. And I'll have a couple of windows in here, some trees, whatever, just to establish there it is. You can do the amazing things with just little silhouettes, just to establish where you are. And then I'm going to come in, I'm going to do 3 panels here. Again, I don't know what my script is, but I'm doing this because I want a nice big panel down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dang it. I'll do another panel here, and this will be my big panel. And so I'm going to close in here. I've got Bruce Wayne talking to somebody. You're looking down at them. So one of them's Bruce Wayne. Who cares? Who really? Maybe a fireplace here. And so there's my scene here. And now the next panel, I'm going to be behind this guy. Here's his ear. And this will be Batman. This will be Bruce Wayne right here. And so they're talking. And so I've come in from outside. I'm going for an outside shot. I might actually want to make these figures a little bit smaller, even just to really show the room. And now I'm cutting into them closer. And now for my next scene, my next shot here, I'm going to have this guy, and he's a little bit bigger, and he's talking, and then the next panel here, I'm going to have, I'm going to go back to basically this angle here, and I'm going to turn his head, and here's Bruce Wayne, and they're both shocked. Oh no, because somebody just broke in the wall, And now I'm going to show them in the foreground here, like silhouetted, just so it doesn't interrupt too much. And then I've got my big, huge, like crazy robot guy that's just crashed through the wall. Again, here's his hands. And that's like my big, anchor panel where I really establish something cool. Now, this is very simple in terms of layout. You know what? This would probably be helpful. Here I am, like zoomed out to the point where it's a postage stamp. Okay, it's a little better. One thing I would not do, and you can make this choice if you want, but I'm not going to take this head and put it up through these panels here. And the reason is because I'm going from this panel to this panel to this panel to this one, and then this one, and then here. And I feel like if I cut in here, it actually cuts off this panel. Something I'm really trying to be careful about not doing that. You can. I just don't like it personally. I think it just makes a page harder to visually read. So there's my figure there. Yeah, it's an awful page. I know, but that's generally the way that I would, or at least a lot of the kinds of choices you'd want to make doing a 6-panel page. I use vertical panels here. If I did a 6-panel page with more horizontal panels, I'd say, okay, I have a choice. Actually, I could do my establishing shot here and do like, part of Bruce Manor, and, here's the gate, whatever. I'm not going to draw all this stuff, but you get the point. Here's my establishing shot. And now I've got 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 5, and that's 6. And so here's my other panels. Or I could make these smaller and then have a bigger panel at the bottom for a little more, to close in on something. That's another option. Another one would be, so I'm going to do my establishing shot just like this. And it's about that big, a fairly large establishing shot, but I don't want it to take too much room up. And then I'm going to say, okay, let's size that in there. I've got my next panel here, and I'm just going to start cascading these down. Here's another panel here, another one here, and then I can put another one here, and then I've got a big open panel here. That's something I really like doing quite a bit, is cascading panels. So I'm starting here, through to here, to here, to here, and then here. It's not ideal. 6 panels is a lot to deal with, but there you go. There's some options. All right.
All right. JDSCT has a super chat for $5. Good evening, Finches. A little late, so not sure if this has been covered, but another rough weekend for Verstappen, eh?
Yeah, unbelievable. So for those of you that haven't watched or don't care, first of all, apologies, but this is Formula One. Max Verstappen, he is the star driver for Red Bull, and he has had 2 DNFs. It's did not finish in 3 races. He's won 1 race, and the other 2 he hasn't been able to finish, and it's been not his fault both times. The car has just completely conked out on him twice. So yeah, a lot of frustration for Red Bull, and they're falling back badly in the standings because Mercedes, who is really, they should have won both the drivers and the constructors. They won the constructors champion last year. While they're struggling this year, they're not getting knocked out of the race, so they're actually ahead in points, I think, right now. And Ferrari is taking over, which has got to be good for Formula One. I think they're like the biggest legacy team. So there you go. So yeah, rough times for Max Verstappen, but good to see George Harris doing so well. And my favorite racer, Daniel Ricciardo, came in 6th. So I was happy about that. Right behind his teammate.
All right. Daniel Leggy has a super chat, but for $2, but I don't see a comment. So Daniel, tag me if you had a question or a comment so that I can read it. I think Tom Morris is gone. Tom had to go feed Mama.
Oh,
Mama Morris.
Fair enough. Well, it was good to see Tom here while he was here. And if you watch this later, Tom, it was good to have you here.
Eric says Red Bull has a bad fuel system problem.
Yeah, they're a real wreck right now and just can't seem to. Now, everybody is kind of struggling, seemingly, except for even actually Ferrari is still struggling with porpoising, which is the car bouncing up and down. I want to explain what porpoising is, but I don't think I could effectively. So whatever, it bounces up and down, and it has to do with
I can visualize that.
Yeah, it has to do with the aerodynamics of the car. They changed the rules for it, and so it's causing them problems that apparently they used to have back in the 70s, and that type of car has been outlawed for so long that nobody really even knows how to fix it. Or well, I'm sure they're working it out, but interesting times.
Okay, so Abalash Abraham has a super chat, or it's not a super chat, a question, David.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, I'm glad to see you in Marathon Live. You guys rock. I wanted to know, how do you make skin folds or wrinkles between brows and forehead when the character is having an angry expression?
Okay. Hold on just one second.
Nalak wants to know, how long does a cycle cover for you take on average?
A typical cover takes probably about 15 hours or so. I find I take so much longer when I'm inking. I would say for me to draw a cover, like if right now, I had to just sit down and draw a cover and it was just pencils, it would take me 8 hours, sometimes less if it's easier. But inking, I just take longer and I end up over detailing a lot. I do that with pencils though too. Okay. I need to zoom back out too. Well, before I zoom out, I totally forgot what the question was now, though.
Skin folds, wrinkles.
Yes, right.
Forehead and between the brows and forehead.
Okay.
On an angry expression.
Let's, you know what? I have a face right here we can do that on. Okay. So your eyes are drawing in this way and down. And so you're going to get all your wrinkling here, obviously. And so because it's drawing down, you'll get a bit of a wrinkle here. And you'll get some wrinkles coming in this way. And I mean, that's basically the pattern that you get. That's basically what you're looking at. And if you squint your eyes upward, because a lot of times when you're angry, you really squint your eyes too, and bring your nostril up, it can start to fold your nose. And so you'll get some wrinkles along your nose too. And so that's really all the wrinkles there. Now, I want to show you guys because it's a good question. This is going to take a second, but it's worth it. used to have all my books organized.
Abandoned ship.
No.
Abandoned ship.
One more minute.
Abandoned ship. You're not gonna find it.
I'm not gonna find it.
Abandoned ship.
I used to have everything so organized.
It's dead scream.
I know. Hang on.
Oh, people are dropping off.
Of course we have.
They're like, I quit. I'm out. I can't wait any longer.
All right. Darn it.
Maybe if you organize it alphabetically or in some kind of system.
I used to have it organized. All right, I'm just going to draw it here. And I'll just tell you, what I was going to show you is Glenn Fabry. If you wanted to draw good folds on foreheads and, between eyes and that kind of thing, get Glenn Fabry's covers that he did for Preacher. There's a book that collects all of his covers, and it's ridiculously good. You can't do better. So I'm going to draw, here's an eyebrow. Here's my eye here. Here's my other eyebrow. And I want to start here. But what I don't want to end up with is here's a fold, here's a fold, here's a fold, which looks terrible. So I'm going to give it just a little bit of a hook shape here. This is random. So, you don't have to. But if I do that, you can see how I'm drawing something that's more flat here, and it kind of plays off of it a little bit and gives it a little bit more, like they kind of work together a little nicer. I can give it something here. And see how I just kind of played with that line a little bit. I want to make sure not to get too big with any of these shapes, but I don't want them to be too uniform either. And then I can get some folds in the brow here that go crossways. And if I connect these up into it just a bit and bring it up, so I've got this over my brow here, I can bring my folds up over that, around the back of the eyes. Folds kind of start coming up like this. And down the nose, you start coming from here. Like this. Now, I'm going to say, too, that your own face is your best reference for that, too. If you want to know how to scrunch your nose, I mean, I've got glasses on, but, I can just do that and look in a mirror. And, it's a good way to do it. So there you go. I wish I had the Glenn Fabry book. I have it somewhere.
You'll find it.
Oh, well, not right now.
Not right now, though. Juhachi has a super chat for SAR. I don't know what that is. What denomination that is. Hello, DNM. I hope you're doing great. I'm trying to design my own original character, but I'm struggling with drawing the same face from different sides and angles. What's the best practice to keep them consistent?
It is learning how to draw the Loomis head. This is something I want to cover a little bit more in depth soon, and it's another one where it's a bit more of a in-depth anatomical tutorial thing that I've been kind of holding off on. But you want to. It's the How to Draw Comics, the Marvel Way head. That's by John Buscema. That's actually kind of a version of the Loomis head. My version, and you guys have seen me do this a ton of times. I kind of did it here, but I'm just gonna. So it's from the front, and it's probably a mistake for me to do this. My front views always kind of end up skewing, and a lot of you guys might end up with this kind of a problem too, where you'll have one side of your forehead will be up, the other one will be down. It's really apparent when you do a direct on shot, and the solution to that is just using a mirror. But here's my center line. I'm going to draw a line from my brow here. This is not my eye line, it's my brow. This is going to be my nose here. And then even distance down, that'll be my chin. Even distance again will be my forehead. And so I want to have an eye basically here, an eye basically here. You got an eye space between them. Here's my brow here on the brow line, my nose. And my mouth is just slightly above halfway here. So there's my mouth. And now I'm going to give him some decent jawbones. My ears are between my eyes, my nose. So there's like my really basic face from the front. If I want to do it from the side, I can keep it consistent just by here's my brow, here's my nose, here's my chin. It's the same distance. I did the same thing here, and here's my forehead. As long as these are the same distance, that already puts me pretty close to having proportions that are consistent enough that it's going to be the same. So here's my eye, here my mouth, my chin, my ear, which, thank you, Eric, tilts back just a little bit. And drawing this is not going to allow you to draw this. You still need to study this, because this won't show you how deep the chin goes, or how far out the nose goes, and how far back the head goes. These are things you still need to study each angle. But the more you keep your simple construction consistent, you will end up with more consistent heads. So there you go. Nicholas Hughes says basic building blocks, which is exactly right. And really, it's all there is to it. I mean, the basics, the foundational basics of drawing are always going to be the most important part. What is going on? Yeah, cat's coughing.
Yeah, it's a little cough.
Let me zoom out.
Joseph Wheel. Meredith, can you give my wife, Sarah Lynn, a shout out? I chopped off a small chunk of my thumb tonight and handled it like a pro. She looks forward to the Zoom call with you from the Kickstarter. Well, hey, Sarah Lynn. And I'm sorry that you chopped off part of your thumb, Joseph.
Hopefully it was a small part.
Hopefully it was a very small part. Very tiny. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you on the Zoom call too.
Otherwise, you'll be the next Tony Iommi.
What?
Nothing.
I don't get
it. Tony Iommi is the guitarist for Black Sabbath back in the early, well, yes, forever, but famously, he was going to go on tour with his first band, and his last day of work, he worked at a steel plant, and some other guy called off sick, so he ended up working on this machine he'd never worked on. Anyway, he cut off his two middle fingers, or I think it was just his two middle fingers, a good portion of the tip, and obviously he couldn't play guitar anymore. And because of that, he ended up kind of fashioning these tips onto his fingers, but they had no feel. He had to totally change how he played. He couldn't play a full chord, so he came up with essentially a power chord and boosted it. He also tuned down his strings so they weren't too hard to press, and got thinner strings, and that sound created the heavy metal sound. That's where heavy metal really kind of originated. There you go.
You thought this was just a comic book stream. Oh my goodness, kitten. Sick kitten. We have a super chat from Greg Al Static Art for $9.99. Greg says, "Hey, DNAM, looks great so far. I think we might get a tutorial someday for how to bend. For how to bend arms and legs in different positions. Even with reference, I still can't physically draw them in certain bends and positions."
Was that Greg?
Yep.
Thank you, Greg. I'm sorry, I'm writing it down. That is a great idea. I'm doing it. The next one still is capes in clothing folds. Kind of focusing on capes, not completely, but a lot. And but yeah, I think that is a great idea. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just doing the tutorials, and just putting out there exactly what I want to put out there, instead of saying, "Oh, I should be selling something." It's nice. Speak. Speak.
Sorry, I'm reading the stream. Max Meager has a super chat for $2, but I don't see a comment. Max?
Well, thank you, Max. And if you have a comment, definitely leave it in there. But very much appreciated. I hope this picture works out because I'm actually really feeling happy with it right now. I feel happy with it. I don't know. Meredith, I'm in a good mood.
I'm glad.
I can't believe how much better I feel after starting working.
Because you were not in a good mood earlier.
No.
You were very angry.
I didn't want to do this tonight.
Did you want to tell them what happened with Isaac?
No. Okay, I'll tell you. I did a Spider-Man Captain America. It was Captain Spidey. This is a few months ago. I did it on live stream, so a lot of you guys might have seen that one. Anyway, I gave it to Isaac because he really wanted it. It was his idea, and he got a new computer, and we're setting up his computer. I go into his room, and he had it half inked. You know, like he did it with his elbow. I mean, I love the kid, but I was mad. I couldn't believe it.
The thing is, you do stuff for him to ink all the time.
I know, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, he doesn't differentiate. He's like, it's just art, Dad.
Yeah.
You could do another one. He didn't understand.
Inked it with his butt.
He did not ink it with his butt.
Yeah, I was mad.
Clearly
I'm like laughing, ha ha ha. But
clearly did not have the right tools.
I was mad.
You School Love Art says, I feel like Meredith is not her peppy self tonight. I'm not my peppy self tonight. I'm tired tonight.
You're not miserable, though.
I'm not miserable.
You're just not driving everybody crazy tonight.
Oh, is that how it's going? Well, apparently some people like the crazy.
I know some people do.
This is the thing, though. You got to watch some streams back from the beginning. Sometimes you get fun Meredith. Sometimes you get tired Meredith.
Yeah, I usually
Sometimes
know.
you get blue Meredith. Right, kitten? She's not going away tonight. She's,
Do you mean sad, Meredith?
when I say blue,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
That's what blue means.
Right.
Versus red Meredith.
Right. Okay.
Usually if red Meredith doesn't come on the stream.
Blue has another meaning for some people. That's all.
What does blue mean?
It means sad.
That's what I thought. There's a whole song. Blue, I'm so lonesome. I can't sing it. I'm so lonesome for you. I can't remember who. Patsy Cline, I believe, is who sang that. I age myself. And I'm not even in Patsy Cline era.
What era is Patsy Cline?
I'm mellow Meredith. That's like right, John D. Harvey. I am mellow tonight. I'm chill.
Yes,
Tired and chill.
you are. What's the Patsy Cline era?
My parents.
Oh, okay.
Like 50s, 60s, 70s, maybe.
Yeah. Fair enough. So we watched the Sonic movie this weekend.
You did.
I did, yeah, with Isaac. And it was good, I gotta say. I mean, it's like completely absurd and whatever, but it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And it had a preview for the new Top Gun movie, which I totally was not going to see. There's no way. I was like, come on, let it go. And I was so on board. I loved it. That was great. So I'm definitely watching it. I don't know. I kind of stopped watching a lot of stuff. I got bitter. The minute you go into a theater, you see it on the big screen again. I just really missed it.
Blue means toilet or sexual humor. Is that what you thought it meant?
Yeah.
Oh, well, what do I know?
Yeah, basically.
I'm innocent and naive. Eric wants to know if I have a birthday song left in me. Whose birthday is it, Eric?
It's Eric's birthday. It was his birthday yesterday.
It was Eric's birthday yesterday, and
Yep.
I didn't know it. It didn't show up on my Facebook. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to the world's greatest moderator extraordinaire, Eric Rove. We couldn't live our life without you. Happiest of birthdays to you.
There you go.
That's all I got.
That was full on.
It was. Dave, do you know what time it is?
Is it okay? Is it? Yes, it is. All right.
It's time. It's time for the book of the week.
When people said you were being chill, that was a
We
compliment.
want art instruction. That is what we seek.
Okay. So we did this book before. It's like I've been avoiding because I can only do these once, you know. And so I already did. I already did the back of this book, and you guys remember. It starts. What issue was it? I can't remember the issue, but oh wait, here we go. Number 11 is the beginning of Nestor Redondo's run, who is one of my favorites, and I really wanted to show this because I felt like there's not enough awareness out there just of how great his stuff is. So, but really, you know, when you talk about Swamp Thing, you're talking about Bernie Wrightson, and most of this book, this is my Swamp Thing book from it's all early 70s. Anyway, it's older stuff, but this is some of Bernie Wrightson's best work. He's much more known for horror comics. In the 60s, he did a lot of stuff for EC Comics, and he did Frankenstein, I think most famously, even more famously than Swamp Thing. It was his greatest work ever. But this is, I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to say my favorite, even over Frankenstein. I just love this stuff. It's more quickly done, and everything about it is really, really amazing. And there's just really interesting choices, like the way he did his. I want to zoom in. You guys got to see this closer. So look at the way he did these folds in the eyes. It's not accurate, I would say, but it's just really interesting. And it's like he was experimenting with different rendering techniques like that, like a lot of negative space stuff on a really small scale and on a really big scale, all on the same page. And it's always really cool to me when I see artists that, I mean, his drawing is just absolutely, you know, generationally talented, good, but also just his experimentation with his line and the way he was presenting things was really incredible. Like just the way he did the rendering on the wall back there. It's all brushwork. Now I don't know. I can't say that all of his work is brush. I'm sure he used some quill and whatever, but it's largely brushwork, and his control with a brush is just about unmatched. I think Kelly Jones actually, who is very influenced by Bernie Wrightson, very much his own artist also, and an absolute genius himself. I think certainly has that level of control. It's very unusual to see that. And I think it's a shame because this kind of look, the way that things are rendered, like this kind of soft rendering was very, very popular. And then when it went out of style, it really, really went out of style. And it just disappeared for a long time. And you really don't see it much now. And it still has, unfortunately, a bit of a dated look. I think that's not the negative that it used to be, thankfully, but you don't see this kind of work as often. And so many of these shapes really, to me, look like he just was establishing them with a brush, which I really love. And there are some truly amazing panels in here, and I can go through this a couple of times. Look at this hand, by the way. Look at that. Crazy. Love that thing. I mean, just the lighting on it is amazing. The pose on it is so great. And what, for me, makes that hand so good is he's pointing the hand. I'm trying to put my own hand, but he's not just pointing the finger like here, I'm pointing. He's actually, that's putting a lot of tension on that tendon to really lift that finger. And that's what gives it so much like raw energy. It's, to me, so much of power when you're drawing a figure comes from tension. And it's pushing things out as far as they can push out, but it's also pulling things as tense as they can pull, because it feels like a coiled spring when you do that. So you bend that finger way back and it feels like it just wants to shoot forward, and it really gives things so much energy. And so many artists that are really good at very dynamic figures have that absolutely down. Yeah, amazing stuff. I think that most of you guys have to be familiar with this, right? I mean, I don't think you could be interested in comics and not be aware of this work. I mean, look at that. And I also feel like it actually gets stronger and stronger as it goes through. I love it all the way through, but as he goes through, I think he was really getting into the character and getting a feel for it. And there's just, yeah, beautiful stuff. So before I stop, or before Meredith stops me, I just want to flip through and show you guys the stuff with Batman in here, because Batman, oh, and there's, look at that. He's got some Frankenstein in there. Unbelievable. But I'm skipping past stuff that has no right to be skipped. Look at that. The lighting on that. Can you guys see that? I hope I'm not off the camera here. Look at that. Okay, so that is one of my favorite shots. A very different shot for him. It actually looks like he's using more of a quill. So it's a really different looking inking technique for him. So kind of interesting to see that. And I don't think that could be topped. Look at that, Meredith. I know you're not paying attention, but look at that. She's nodding her head. She doesn't care. You have to appreciate it, though, right? Just say you do.
I do.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on.
Wait. Here it is. Here we go.
I'm going to start singing.
Not yet. So here's some of his Batman stuff. He's got some very cool shots of Batman. The way he does his cape is like this shot right here with the cape is absolutely amazing. There are places where I feel like you can see Kelly Jones. Certainly, I can't think of a place where I'd say, oh, Kelly Jones lifted this or that, but you can see where he got some of his influence for some of his Batman stuff. That cape drape is magical. And there are other great shots too. I'm going to stop now. Look at that shot. All right, there you go. Brittany writes in, this is Swamp Thing. This particular book, and I don't have the dust jacket. I always end up losing them, but it is the DC Comics Classics Library, Roots of the Swamp Thing. So there you go. All right.
It's time. It's time for the book of the week.
You already.
I don't know.
Are you doing the outro?
That's the outro now.
Good.
And that was SAR was Saudi Arabian currency. Thank you, Ju Hachi, for letting me know.
Very cool.
Very, very cool. So somebody from Saudi Arabia.
I have never been to Saudi Arabia. I have been to
Dubai.
I've been to Dubai,
That's
and
United Arab Emirates.
I know that's like somebody saying they're from France, and I say, "Oh, I've been to Germany."
Yeah,
I understand that, but it's the only place I've been that is in the Middle East, so it was very cool to go there.
SCS Powerlifting has a super chat. Happy birthday, Eric! And that angelic voice has me all teared up. Thank you for the $5 super chat, SCS. Everybody says, happy birthday, Eric. Darm X, happy birthday. Nick Hughes. Oh, that's book of the week. Yes. Oh, you've school. For art. I can't even do it. Has a birthday cake.
I'm sorry. Try that one more time.
It's YV Yiv SO so co love art. Yiv so co love art.
There you go. Sounds good. I mean,
let's go with that. We're going with that.
Closer.
It's one of those like I'm trying to talk, but my brain won't slow down enough to be able to sound it out.
Yeah, look, I'm worse than you are by far. So, while it's fun to laugh at you and point.
Uh-huh. Always laughing.
So Eric and I are going to be painting Killer Croc on Thursday.
You are. Are you doing it live?
We're doing it live. No. So what we're going to do is...
What? You haven't done a live stream in ages.
So what we're going to do is... Okay, don't do it. Is we're going to draw it on our own. So it'll be all ready to go drawn. And then when we start, I do want to show you guys how we drew it, because it's different tools for me too. Like I'm really kind of getting the hang of it a little bit. Eric has some tools that I keep saying, oh, I'm going to get them, and I keep not getting around to it. So he has better tools than I do right now, but I'll get there. Anyway, so I'll do just a quick drawing demonstration just to show you the technique, and it really is all the same after that, just so you see that. And then we'll be blocking in color and painting, and it might be a bit of a long stream. But you know what? I like doing some of the long ones sometimes. So it's fine.
Had a blip. Just about. I'm a super chat. Oh. You know it's after 9 o'clock. I'm yawning. Wayne from Wayne Blackman for $5. Wayne says, "Hello, Finch family. Sending you my love and support. Thanks for the weekly educational art advice and support." Thanks for being here, Wayne, and thank you
Yes.
for the super chat.
Thank you so much, Wayne.
Joel Eustace says, "Showing up late. I never keep the dust jackets either. That looks really good, Dave. Thanks."
Thank you. Yeah, the problem with not keeping the dust jackets is a lot of times it can be difficult for me to tell what books I've got on the shelf. But yeah, I can never hang on to them.
Mike Montgomery has a super chat for $2. He says, "Dave, please don't zoom out."
Okay.
He's enjoying how tight he is.
Just everybody yell at me if I start, drawing down.
And believe me, I'm happy to yell at him, people.
Thank you. I know.
Happy. Adam says Thursday is his birthday. Happy birthday to you, Adam.
Yeah.
I don't know.
happy
Can
birthday.
I sing happy birthday and just saying Adam? That sounds bad.
I don't understand.
Happy birthday to Adam. Happy birthday to Adam. I feel like I'm just calling him dumb. Happy birthday to Adam. See what I'm saying?
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah. You're just being,
But I did sing happy birthday. They've all got to be unique. Oh, got to be unique. Oh, Matthias Levi says, "Good night from Brazil." Tap it out.
Matthias, it's not that late in Brazil. All right. Fair enough. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
What are you doing tomorrow, Dave? Are you going to draw cover, Walking Dead cover? Are you going to draw?
I'm going to be working on the cover that you're, talking about that we're not allowed to talk about.
Oh.
So, yes.
Enrique Inglaze 123 says, "This is a perfect drawing for Dave to get over his detailing obsession. Let it out, Dave. Let it out."
I don't think you're supposed to indulge it when you're trying to stop something, but yeah. I just like doing it, I enjoy it. I could see that this would start to get a little tedious, but it's just fun.
Simon Kucher says, "Where I am, it's 4:13 a.m. Oh, I mean, to be fair, I could get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it, but I couldn't stay up until 4 o'clock in the morning to watch it.
Yeah, that would be tough. I had no idea. That's crazy, Simon. Simon's been around for ages. You know that, right? Yeah. He's been part of the crew for a long time. I know. Well, thank you that's a sacrifice, man. Meanwhile, Dan Lassard, nowhere to be seen. He's passed out.
Was he here?
Well, I don't think so. I haven't seen him today, but he's a very, very hard worker, and he tends to go to bed early.
Like your wife.
Yeah.
Normally does.
Yeah.
But she can't.
Not tonight. Sacrifices must be made. So what you get for bailing me out 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Can you believe it's really almost 2? It'll be 2 years next month. The end of next month, whatever, coming up. Almost 2 years. And again, my favorite thing about this, I love drawing Batman, but I love that I love it again more than I did because I'm not doing it for every single sketch. So when I get them, I'm thrilled. I mean, I love Batman, but it's tough when it's every sketch.
Variety's the spice of life.
It is. And I end up drawing stuff that I think, oh, no one's going to want to see this. Like, yeah, I honestly, I thought that Drist would be, I just wanted to do it because I'm a huge fan. Eric's a huge fan. We were talking about it a lot. And Drist, by the way, is from Chronicles of Drist. It is by R.A. Salvatore, a phenomenal writer. It's a series of books. And yeah, I thought, oh, no one's going to care. And people really did. I was so surprised. So it's really nice. Do something so different. It's always eerie when you go quiet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well,
MVDC says 916 here. We have that in common. 916 here.
I'm tired. Simon says, I woke up to watch it. It's part of my every Monday. There you go. Simon does wake up to watch it. That's what I could do. I could get up to watch it, but I could not. That means he's getting up at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, I know. He is.
I don't know if I could get up. I mean, I do. Sometimes I'm up from 3 because I can't sleep. So there's that. But generally I wake up at 5.
He is a stone that is gathering no moss.
That's right. Rike says it's actually peaceful to watch it so late. The only sound around is Dave and Meredith's voice. Well, it might be peaceful to watch Dave draw. I don't know how peaceful my voice is.
Oh, you can be pretty peaceful sometimes.
And so, with the dulcet tones.
Oh, look at this. You see what I'm doing with this arm here?
You know the late night talk show host.
Okay.
What are you doing with that arm, David?
What I'm doing is I started curving it this way here, and now I'm curving it this way. Like I've lost track. And since I already was curving this way, it's kind of come. So I need to fix all this. And if I'm using pencil, I could just erase it. I'm not. So I'm going to try to just.
You're going to have to black it out.
Yeah. When in doubt or when you screw up, black it out. And this I'm actually going to have to. See, this is where it's good to have my big blotter.
There you go.
There, it already looks better.
Perfect. Story by Osmosis has a super chat for $10. Story says, hey, David Meredith, good to see you. I had a bit of difficult with momentum after COVID, so I've focused back on my earlier confidence in color. Sent Meredith a work in progress. The Swamp Battle is awesome, too.
You have it?
Maybe he sent it through Instagram. I have to look. Oh, there it is right there.
Okay, let's see it.
Hold on. It's not loading.
When it loads.
What's up with the princess tonight? She's very snuggly. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Hold on. There. So impatient.
Yeah. It's so dark. Like you need a brighter screen. You guys see that though? I don't feel like you can see it I mean, here I am going like crazy close. And it's like that French painter that painted a lot of
Matisse?
No, it was like stippling. I mean, look at the eye. Yeah, it is beautifully painted. Unbelievable. Wow, I am taken aback. Look at that. Wow, thanks for showing me. I mean, that is truly amazing looking. I wish this was a little brighter on the screen so you guys could see it a little bit better. It's really something else. It's at the Facebook group?
No, he just sent it to me. It just messaged me with it.
Okay.
Tom Teacher says, what's up, flock? 3 a.m. here too. Baby just woke me up. Woohoo! Well, if you're going to sit there trying to get the baby back to sleep, I'll try to be quiet. Would you like me to sing Rock-a-bye baby in the treetop when the wind blows? I used to be able to sing to my children, but I can't sing on the stream. You guys have destroyed it. Antoine Washington has a super chat for $1.99. Antoine says, better late than never. Glad to be with you all. And we are glad to have you here, Antoine.
Yes, absolutely. And again, thank you to all of you guys that are here.
I can say my favorite name.
I totally thought we would be doing this to an audience of like nobody tonight after I realized I forgot to post the stupid link up. So it's great to see you guys here.
And I do want to say the story by osmosis. I hope he gets better soon. Nothing worse than having COVID. My sister and her 2 kids have it.
Yeah.
My parents had to go drop groceries for them.
Yeah, they've had it for a good solid week, yeah?
Yeah, I think they're probably almost done.
I would think. I'm going to have to go in there and clean that up a little bit, but fine for now. This is where I can do this fairly quickly, but for me if this was like a cover or something where I needed to be a lot cleaner, it would take a lot longer because I'd really want all these branches to really make sense. And I feel like I'm kind of losing them here and there.
Eric says that lullaby was so good, I fell asleep for a few minutes. Simon says, I only know that song because of Tom and Jerry.
Huh.
And Dark Air in New Vegas says that nursery rhyme is super dark and depressing.
On a treetop.
And then, I used to actually, when I used to change the words for my kids, I used to sing. Tom Teacher actually said that lullaby worked. Thanks, Meredith. How did I do it? Rock my baby in the treetop. Wind blows, the cradle will rock. I can't remember. I changed the words.
I know, and I remember you doing it.
Because I wouldn't sing when the bough breaks, the cradle would fall, and down can baby bail on. I never sang that. I sang something else.
Yeah, I can't remember what
it'll come to me when I have grandkids. I don't need it right now. I've shoved that in the back niche of my brain.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to needing to remember all the Thomas the Tank Engine lyrics again.
Yep.
It's going to be awesome. I am looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be nice.
We're not that far away.
I mean, I'm
going to guess sometime in the next 5 to 10 years.
I don't need a life or to get work done or.
No. Arachnon47 has a super chat for $5. Thanks for the advice. On my art block last week, decided to start drawing my photographs and no comic stuff. Is there also a way to get art critiques?
There is.
When you do a stream with Robert Marzullo.
Robert Marzullo and Clayton Barton from howtodrawcomics.net. We did one just about 2 months ago now. We'll have another one coming up hopefully fairly soon. We're going to have to, again, kind of plan that. I haven't actually talked to Robert since we did it. Like, it's just everybody's so busy. So, we'll be planning that again soon. And obviously, we'll give you plenty of notice for when that happens. And I am very glad to hear that you're drawing. And really, it's just sitting down and doing it, which is tough for all of us. I mean, if it was easy, I'd be Arnold Schwarzenegger right now.
You know what I haven't done yet? I haven't asked for likes. I know we only have 368 people watching, but we only have 355 likes. Let's hit that like button. I'm going to be 356. 243,000 subscribers. I can't keep track. Every week it jumps. Where are you people? Hit the like button. Let's get at least to 400. Hit like and subscribe if you've not already. If you're joining us for the first time tonight, you don't want to miss out on all Dave's great tutorials and live streams. And he's giving stuff away for free now. He's just teaching for free. He's not even putting it up.
Well, I have been anyway, but
Yeah. So support that. Click subscribe. And you can be forced to listen to me every Monday night.
Meredith, you're trying to get them to subscribe.
There we are. We're at 400.
All right, here we go. Fast.
Dan Genovese says, I know that nursery rhyme from the Goonies. Good. So
I need to watch the Goonies again. I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
So long. Oh, Dennis Kelly says, so weird. I only see 27. Like sometimes that happened to me. If you refresh your screen, you'll get back to the right number. But our likes are 414 now. Max
awesome.
Meeker is going. Good night. Got a rusty eyes, yawning face. I'm going with Max. Max and I are peacing out. Peace out.
Yeah. And it's only 9:30.
I know people be tired.
People be tired. Sometimes I wonder, like, I like Monday nights. Is there a night that it would be better for everybody? I don't know. No, not for you, eh?
No.
Because we actually picked Monday night.
No night is better.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever.
I'm from Taiwan. I wish you all a nice day. Have a great night in Taiwan.
Yeah, absolutely. There's another place I'd like to go one day.
It's Tuesday morning in Australia, says Sam Rogers. See, you just got to pick a night and go with it.
Sam Rogers.
And also, the show is literally called Monday Night Raw. You can't change it now.
It's true.
It will always have to be on Monday, but on a Sunday, but on a Monday. Not a Sunday, on a Monday.
All right. Okay, just stop before it turns into a loop.
It already is. Anthony G says the Goonies were filmed in Oregon.
Funny.
John Hurd wants to know if you're going to show off the jam piece before you send it back to me.
Yes, and I'm going to finish it on a stream. And actually, I was about to say that, and I kind of trailed off. But I've got next week. We won't have a stream because it's Easter, and then
I'll be busy cleaning up.
I really want to do Moon Knight, but depending on where I am with I think I'll be at a point where I will be ready to kind of just get it finished. So the next one might just be that one. And I'll finish it with all you guys, which I think will be a lot of fun. And then it'll be Moon Knight, most likely. Or it'll be Moon Knight and then that. But anyway, one way or another. And you'll be what?
I don't know what I said.
Okay. That's not good. That's when... Oh, let's see. Look at this. I'm off the screen. Guys need to yell. It's a problem. It's hard to yell through a chat.
It is hard to yell. Nobody's saying, you're off the screen.
So he's going to be in water.
He's going to be in water?
Yeah. It's a swamp.
Oh, fair enough. That way you don't have to draw feet.
Shut up.
Don't you want to draw his man feet?
You know what's worse than drawing feet?
Man feet.
Drawing toes.
Man feet.
Drawing toes is even worse.
Henry Jerbeck with a little bit of comic lore. Sam Rogers. Oh, for Sam Rogers, Man Thing. I'll just share it with everybody in case you haven't read it. Man Thing has been around since 1972. A lot of great artists have drawn him. Neil Adams, Bernie Wrightson, John Buscema, Val Merrick, Frank Bruner, Michael Golden, David Finch.
You put that last one in there, right?
I did.
Okay.
I totally did.
Yeah, Val Merrick actually, he drew one of the first comics I bought. It was I got Lobo by Simon Bisley, and I was such a huge fan. I think the next time, or maybe 2 times later, I was going every week, that I went to the comic store, there was a Lobo, and he was the artist. So a big fan of Val Merrick from way back. I actually had a Glenn Fabry cover. Miss those days. I think Glenn Fabry's still doing awesome work, but I miss that era of comics. The early 90s.
Yeah.
Yep. You really sound like you're falling asleep. Hold it together.
I don't know what you're talking about. Just because I have a warm kitty curled up next to me, like a little hot water bag with her little purr box. That's not like soothing and comforting and putting me to sleep at all.
C. Wilcox Art says Biz did a variant cover for the new Superman versus Lobo. Very cool. And believe it or not, I'm not trying to take over from you. I just looked up and I saw that.
I'm just going to go to bed now.
You know what? Do your job then. How about that?
I am doing my job. Like, for example, Eric Grove Art said, Jason Fabok's Swamp Thing is incredible. I recommend it to everyone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I forgot he did that. It's a little while ago now.
You drawing the tree now?
No, I'm still working on this guy. So the tree is going to end up having to wait. I wanted to do the tree too this week.
It might not happen.
I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to go to bed myself, unfortunately.
Yeah, since he was up late all last night.
I'm doing fine, but yeah, I'll crash hard.
And you still got to go feed the sheep. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
The sheepies need to be feedies.
They don't take long to feed.
That's good.
Got to do it.
Yeah. Rackdown 47 says, come for the art, stay for the old married couple banter. Who's calling me old? Only person who could call me old is me.
Old.
Band.
Meredith is old.
You're older than I am.
Only technically.
If
Young at heart.
Technically, you mean by actually, then yes, actually, technically. Technically, actually.
All right.
This little kitten is super loving tonight. I posted a picture of her in the flock on the Facebook flock page. She was so cute. She's getting so big. She's like a big little girl.
It's always my favorite when you totally quit.
I didn't totally quit. The stream is very quiet tonight. Nicholas Hughes says, feed the sheep and make some nice wool clothing. Ginger Raptor wants to know, does it bother you having a drawing half finished and then having to wait till the next Monday to finish?
Yes. It drives me up the wall, actually. I hate walking away from something and moving on to something else. It's like when I start something, I really like to finish if I can.
Apparently, Sam Rogers did not know we were married. Sam Rogers says, you guys are a married couple? That's cool. Meredith and Dave.
I thought you were my sister.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, same last name, you know?
Yeah. Fair enough. Sometimes your sister's on the stream.
Yep. Yeah, she was on
comes
last
to
week.
watch. Yep.
Last week.
Comes for the watching.
Haven't seen her this week, though.
No, I have not either.
I'm off.
Sam Rogers wants to know, do you think the public is losing interest in superhero movies?
Seemingly not. I really don't think so.
Yeah, you're sitting in the front row in the Sonic movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, now Sonic is not a superhero, but the Batman movie is doing really well. It seems like when they come up with a movie, which is more often than not, but when they have a movie that connects with people, yeah, they do great still, and that has not changed at all. Spider-Man, I think, is a really great example of that. When they do movies that don't connect as well, you know, I know some of the X-Men movies, the latest ones, didn't do quite as well, and there are other ones. I don't know how Morbius is doing, but um, hopefully it does well. I don't know, to be honest with you, but they're like anything else. If they're well done and they you know meet what the audience is hoping to get for the movie, then yeah, they do great. If they don't, obviously they don't do as well. So yeah, I don't think that people are getting sick of it. I mean,
Sam is new to the channel today.
oh yeah,
So welcome. See, this is why every week I say like and subscribe, because you just never know when somebody like Sam is here for the first time.
well, thank you, Sam. It's good to have you here.
Welcome, Sam. Welcome to the flock. Story by Osmosis says Mobius is nothing to go by. Dark Air New Vegas said Mobius was just okay.
Yeah, that's and I mean, okay is okay. Like I know I'm going to watch it at some point, and um, I can live with okay. It's like the Green Lantern movie, which was bad, arguably. I mean, it's just a bad movie. I liked it. I liked the Daredevil movie too.
Leto in Morbius.
Yes. Yeah, he is. You like Jared Leto?
I do like Jared Leto. I know you're not a huge fan.
No. No, truthfully, not really. There's nothing wrong with him, really. I just,
So how do you and Eric decide what character you're going to paint next? What are you painting again?
We're painting.
You don't even know what you're painting.
Killer Croc.
Why do you pick that? Like, how do you pick it?
Okay, so we picked it actually. We had a poll. Where do we have a poll?
I don't know.
Eric, where do we have a poll? I know we had a poll. Am I losing my mind? I know we did.
Are you sure?
Yes.
On Instagram, maybe?
Maybe it was on Jimmy's channel. Eric, where was it? Things. Anyway, we had a poll, and that's what people wanted to see. So it was a while ago, and I don't remember where or how we did that, or if it was even actually a poll, but it definitely.
And you know what? Maybe you slept and you dreamed that you had a poll with Eric. Oh, sorry.
Eric's gonna back me up here.
Eric is silent.
Dan Genovese says you did another stream. Oh yes, it was the Peter Steigerwald stream.
Oh, there you go. Alphin says I voted for Killer Croc.
See,
last painting live stream the night Meredith was gone, when Meredith was looking for the cat.
Alphin was the first one here tonight.
Was he?
Yep. Yeah, because I put the thing up late. Alphin came in and said 18 minutes to go. So it was 18 minutes before. So yeah, I was actually, when Alphin commented, Alpin, sorry, I was very relieved. I thought, oh, okay, good.
Eric says we had the poll in the stream when I was looking for Stormy. The chat chose Killer Croc.
That's when, okay.
I've been painting Batman's Rogues Gallery.
That's why you don't remember.
When I was looking for the cat. That's why I don't know anything about it. What were your options? Killer Croc seems like it would be a difficult painting.
Okay. The options were Clayface.
Which you've already done.
Yes. Now, I forgot and I can't remember.
Awesome. Well, the good news is these are streamed and live, and then they go into your YouTube video database, so you can go back and watch it.
Right. All to find out which ones we didn't pick.
Yeah, exactly. So you can answer my question for me. Waiter Shush is here with a super chat for $2. Just saying hi, Dave and Meredith and the flock. Old and new hater. Flock, what members old and new? Oh my gosh, that reminds me of a toast I gave one New Year's Eve. Here's to old friends. Here's to new friends. None of which are here. What I meant by that was my old friends aren't here, but all my new friends died laughing because basically
this is the worst.
None of my friends were there. Oh, that was a good one. University, that one. I didn't live that one down for a while.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was funny. Nick from Detroit says that he's been watching Richard Friend's videos on Bernie Wright's and Frankenstein. Excellent tips and stuff.
Yeah, well, you could not do better than Richard for that, because Richard is an inker, and he is, you talk about inkers with incredible, like top level brush control. That is definitely Richard. He can do all of that incredibly. So, and he's very able to look at that kind of work and be able to break down exactly how it was done.
Lance DeBoyer says, I gotta say, I'm fired up. Not fired out.
I'm going to zoom out because I'm doing the tree.
To draw the man thing. What?
I'm not drawing a whole tree. Relax. But now that I'm working on it, you kind of you'll need to be able to see it a little bit. And I'm totally going to cheat and not do any pencils. So this could be a disaster.
Oh, Dan DeSantos is on here. Dan wants to know, are these painting sessions streaming and I've been missing them? Or is this the first one?
It's the first one, Dan. Oh, yeah, no, yeah. And good to see you. Good to see you, Dan. You guys all know who Dan DeSantos is. And for any of you that are new, Dan is an absolutely incredible illustrator, a novel cover artist, New York Times bestselling novel cover artist, and very, very much in demand. And editor of Muddy Colors, which is, I think, the greatest painting blog on the internet, and a very good friend. So, yeah, they haven't been streamed. Definitely the next one will. So, well, obviously on Thursday.
All right. Bounty Girl 2 says, hi, first time in the chat. Big fan since I saw your work on Moon Knight with Amada on Colors. Your anatomy videos have really helped my artwork. Currently watching your vids on Proco.
Oh, well, great. Thank you very much.
And welcome to the chat.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Moon Knight now is a long time ago.
She didn't say first time watching the stream. She said her first time in the chat.
Well, whichever.
And I can understand why you would avoid the chat. Look at these people.
Wow.
It's so full of love. No. We love the chat. I like seeing new people in the chat too.
Yes. I think I have an idea how I'm going to do this so it can go a little quicker too.
Oh.
The tree, I mean.
I don't want to say you got 17 minutes, but you got 17 minutes.
I wonder how far I can get. Okay.
All right. On your mark.
No. Hey,
Get set.
Talking about I've been drawing it this whole time.
Go. I can't do it in any kind of way that makes it recognizable.
Okay, then just go. Just stop.
Because I don't want to get copyright struck. Well, I'm playing music by mistake. Oh, crap. That's the worst. Nicholas Hughes says, put Ben Grimm in the back.
This is actually probably, I think, pretty similar to the Ben Grimm that I drew on who did I do versus Ben Grimm?
Ooh. Did you know your run on Moon Knight comes out on May 17th in omnibus format?
No kidding. Well,
we had no knew that.
No, that means it'll be like part of a much larger book. That is awesome.
I can't even speak. I just said we knew that. Oh my gosh, stop this. I just said we knew that. Like, what is that?
Well, knew that.
We knew that. That is the worst.
That is awesome. I'm glad because it's been out of print for a while, which I am pretty proud of that stuff. And having it not be in print was always kind of, I felt it was a shame. So it'd be nice.
Eric says, tell Dave to use the airbrush. Ha ha ha. Don't use the airbrush.
Yeah, no.
No, do not use the airbrush.
I'm really wondering just how much I can get done in like very little time just by being super sketchy.
I'm about to find out.
Yeah. And you know, if it turns out better than when I'm like super tight, I quit. I'm not doing this anymore. That stuff like trees like this, when I'm really tight, take me hours and hours. I mean, they take forever. The amount of time I spend on those things, it's stupid. Especially it's the leaves. They can take forever. Like I don't know how many other complete knucklehead artists there are out there that draw every leaf on a tree.
If you're one of those knucklehead artists, I apologize. Just called people knuckleheads.
It's calling me a knucklehead.
Oh, you're calling yourself a knucklehead?
I think the rule is if you're one of the knuckleheads, then
you can use the word knucklehead.
That's right. Pretty sure how that works. That's how that works.
Henry Jermick says the tree should be Groot.
Henry, cut me some slack, man. There's a limit.
Lance de Boyer is raising his hand. He's volunteering himself as a knucklehead artist.
See, there you go. Yeah, I can confirm I've seen Lance do a lot of detail.
Monumental Comics. He's about to quit because this is ridiculously good.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And yeah, I know you're not serious about quitting.
All right. Shudo Shrimp 135 says, sorry if it bothers the flow of the chat, but any advice? Hold on. Any advice on coloring comics in terms of finding balance between inks and rendering?
Yeah. Okay. Now, the advice that I would have is you have to think of the black line as being your dark, and your colors really should be a relatively high key. You don't want to be coloring too dark into the blacks with your colors. Now, I'm not sure exactly where that key is, but you want to think of it as being, like mid-tone to high, and don't go lower than that, because you still want it to look like comic art and not painted art. And that I know that can be a real. It was at Marvel actually a lot of the time that I was there, and it seems like they really sorted that out, and I didn't see that as much. But colorists that would just obliterate the line art, and the reason they were obliterating it is they were just going too dark with the colors, and so it was just interfering with the black line. So that's something that is a real pet peeve for a lot of artists. It certainly was for me when it happened. Now, you obviously have the option of killing line back, and Peter actually did a really great segment on that, how to knock back line. I know it as a color hold. Basically, you take the black line, and instead of being black, you make it red or whatever color you want. You can make it much lighter and really fade things out. And he actually did it on my Aspen character. The Aspen's a company. The Soulfire character that I drew. Some parts of her body, like some detail on her stomach and that kind of thing, he completely knocked out because he felt like it was too harsh. And it's funny. Like we talked on the phone actually, or through text anyway, before we did the stream, and he was a little worried that I was going to be upset about that, like offended somehow. But it looks so great, and I'm always for one thing I have learned, and this is not a universal truth because some people just like to complain, but for the most part, when editorial or whoever, they have a problem with the artwork and they start giving you a million notes, those notes are not necessarily helpful. What they're doing is expressing a general displeasure with the picture, So, like for my part, I don't care what you do as long as the overall picture looks good. That's totally unhelpful advice. I'm sorry. But the advice that I would give, just based on my own experience, not being a colorist, but being an artist looking for a colorist, is to not go too dark. The other advice, I do actually have another one, and that is, see, this is where it'd be so nice to have. Okay, first of all, I did a stream with Dan Santos. I would really recommend watching that. He is not a comic colorist; he's a painter. But when he does the color palettes and studies for his paintings, it's a lot like comic coloring, and some of the insights he had were mind-blowing. And I mean, I couldn't possibly give you advice that could come close to measuring up to what you could get just by watching that one. I'd really recommend you watch it. To me, it's absolutely golden content. So yeah, there's that. And then what else was I going to say? Oh, right. Yeah. I have a huge problem when colors are fully saturated all the time. Like, I think most colors really should be gray, and not gray, but if you have blue and you imagine there's all the way from gray and just completely no color to fully blue and fully saturated. I would prefer it to be almost gray. And then only where you really want to focus, or if you have like a color theme, you can have every color in the rainbow in there and they can all be very muted. And then you just focus on a color. But, I find sometimes I would see colors just like a blue sky at night would just be an intense saturated blue, and not my favorite. So that's something I'd say too. But really, that actually got covered quite a bit in that thing with Dan too. So I'd really recommend you try that. We are going to try very, very hard to get Dan to come back on and do another stream. I know he's very busy, and he watches while he works. So, it's kind of it might be a little easier to get him to watch than to get him to do another one, but I'm very hopeful we can get him to come on again and do something with us.
Right. And Eric kindly posted a link for the stream for Dan that you guys did. Russ Hicks says this piece is so dynamic. I can already see the massive splash Man-Thing is about to make in the swamp. So good.
Thank you very much, Russ.
Kevin Mandevil wants to know if we're watching Moon Knight.
Not yet. I'm going to start next week. I got over my juvenile upset pout over not being in the credits. Now I
Maybe
really
you're in
want to see
the credits for the next episode.
Maybe. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I care.
Because you love Moon Knight. He's your favorite
Marvel. I know,
character.
and also I'm like a total emotional infant. But yes, I'm going to start watching next week.
Dan Genovese says, my father calls me and my brother my two knucklehead sons when he talks about us. So we call all of Everett's friends when they show up.
Yeah, it's a term of endearment.
Yep.
I would not want to tell Everett's friends that it's a term of endearment.
Call them knuckleheads to their faces.
Yeah.
What are you knuckleheads up to tonight?
Well, they're good kids. I mean, I've got nicknames for all of them, and nobody cares.
No. Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $4.99. Sheldon says, from your stream with Dan Santos is where I found out about cool, warm colors and vice versa.
Yeah.
Miss Meredith rocks.
And there's another, and I didn't even mention cool and warm colors, but the truth is I don't have a very good understanding of it. I'm trying to paint more. I love it. And I'd like to be able to find more time to do it. But most of what Dan really talks about is it's very high level. It's the kind of stuff you're going to get at a place like Pasadena, Art Center in Pasadena, or one of the great illustrator schools. You're not going to get that kind of knowledge from most places. And I don't think you're going to find. I don't know where else you'd find it. So yeah, I have learned so much from Dan, and I've also not understood, but there's understanding, and then there's actually applying, and I'm not there yet. I'm
Kenny
getting
Wang
there.
says, I've revisited that stream like 5 times now. The stuff in there is really good.
Yeah, that was a great stream.
Dan Tawa says, has a super chat for $5. Dan says, for a new artist, is getting an agent a possibility to organize the business side of work? I just want to focus on art and not have to worry about business.
No, truthfully, and I shouldn't say no. It's
I mean,
not
you
fair.
could. You can apply to look
You
at
could.
who agents are and see if they'll take you on.
Generally speaking, it is just about as easy to get work as it is. Like there are agents in Brazil that Brazil being Portuguese, and I don't think that's as much of an issue now as it once was, because people outside of North America and a few places didn't speak English as commonly as they do now, so it's less of a thing. But they would have scripts translated, and you'd get a lot of support that they really needed, And they also nurtured talent and brought them up in studio environments. I know one of my favorite artists, Mike Diodoro Jr., had a studio quite a while ago now with a lot of people that really learned their craft there. Ed Benez, another one of my favorites, a really nice guy too. Ed, unfortunately, he doesn't speak a lot of English, so I've talked to him, but it's like kind of through a translator, and I would like to have been able to talk to him more, but he's a very nice guy from what I got to talk to him, and a phenomenal artist. Anyway, he's brought a ton of people into the business that way, and a lot of them work through agencies. So, but here, yeah, it's a tough one. It's like trying to get an agent as an actor if you're not getting work, basically. And this is the problem: agents look to you as a resource to exploit. And that doesn't mean that they're bad people, and I wouldn't want to suggest that, but they're looking at somebody that they can make a profit from, and now they want to provide you with a service. But if they can take on somebody that already is getting work, then they're already making money, and then they can negotiate on your behalf and make more money for themselves. But it is a big job, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this, what a challenge it is to try and get work from nothing. And a lot of agents are not interested in taking that on. So that's just reality. Yeah. And also bear in mind, comics is, aside from a very few people, and, the goal is always do as well as you can, but it can be a very low paying job, and you don't want to be giving an agent 15% or 10% or whatever it is of an income that's already not where you'd like it to be. On the other hand, because I haven't had an agent, but I've had a lawyer, and I have to say that I did substantially better after I had a lawyer. And I was dealing with companies that are absolutely ethical and on the up and up, but I mean, they're not stupid either. They're not going to, they're responsible to their own shareholders. So they'll pay you what you will take and they do everything they can to keep you happy, but it's irresponsible for them to just pay you more than you'll take. So having a lawyer was very good for me.
All right. Henry wants me to remind you to add this page to the community section.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'll make sure it's tonight, because normally I kind of go to bed after this.
You're not going to be done though.
Oh, that's true.
Because it's 10 o'clock.
No, it's not. It's
9:59.
9:59. Relax.
9:59.
Dang it. I can't believe how fast that happened. I really thought I was going to get the whole tree done. I got a bunch done though, right?
Yeah, most done.
Well, we'll stop now. No.
You can draw for one more minute.
Okay. It's like a physical pain to stop.
Sorry.
There are times I'm drawing and I'm like, I just want to be done. And then there are other times I desperately don't want to stop.
There you go. Ding. You heard that, right?
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to stop there.
Dan DeSantos is like, no.
Yeah. It's going to be time for bed.
You're not going to, the thing is, Russ is like, can we stay up 10 more minutes, please, Meredith? But it's not going to be 10 more minutes.
No, it won't be. For me to finish the top of the tree, it would be. Here's the thing. in 10 minutes, what I would do is a little bit more detail here, and then I would just get the black brush out, and I would just brush in black leaves up there. Not ideal. I would do it just so I could say it's done.
No.
It would not look nice.
No.
I would prefer to spend the time
the
it takes
time.
just to finish the leaves. So it's better off.
And when it's done, he'll post it.
Yes, I will. All right.
I promise.
Thank you, everybody, so very much for coming and spending Monday night with us again, especially considering that I completely forgot to post a link for this one. So I'm happy that we have any of you here at all. And we won't be here next Monday. It's going to be Easter.
Easter Monday. So don't eat some turkey or ham or Cadbury's Easter cream eggs.
Right. But we will have a painting stream coming up on
Thursday.
On Thursday. So it'll be Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern, same time as tonight. And yeah, maybe, we'll have another painting stream with Dan Santos sometime soon. We'll try. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.